Some other news now. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky announced that another round of trilateral peace talks will take place February 4th and 5th in Abu Dhabi. This comes as Russia continues to carry out strikes on Ukraine with deadly consequences. The latest drone attack this Sunday has killed 12 people on a shuttle bus in the eastern Dnipropetrovsk region. 7 more were wounded. This follows an earlier strike on a maternity hospital in Zaporizhzhia that injured at least 6 people. For more on this, we can cross to Ukraine and speak with our correspondent, Emmanuelle Chaze. So, Emmanuelle, we see here Russia is continuing its bombing campaign. What more can you tell us about these latest strikes?
Well, indeed, those strikes show that daily the Ukrainian population is under those drone attacks. Mostly here in Kharkiv in the afternoon, there was a drone attack in the city center. Here there were no people injured, but material damage. But you've mentioned it. The region of Dnipropetrovsk has also been impacted with this service bus in the district of Pavlograd having been hit with a kamikaze drone. 12 people died there, and 7 people have been hospitalized following these strikes. Earlier today, it's a maternity hospital that was bombed in Zaporizhzhia. 6 people were injured, and then in a later strike, also in Zaporizhzhia, 3 more people were injured. And this goes on to show that this winter is certainly the most difficult for the Ukrainian population. They have to shelter from the threat, the daily threat of those Russian bombs, which continue to rain down on Ukraine, and also they have to try and survive in very dire conditions. Only yesterday there was a generalized blackout. Electricity came back gradually in all the regions, but as you can maybe see, I'm not exactly in the perfect lighting right now, simply because there are more power cuts here in Kharkiv. Kharkiv is Ukraine's second biggest city, but it lies very close to Russia, 30 kilometers away, and it's quite vulnerable to strikes which continue all over the country. In the capital, in Kiev, there's also a lot of difficulties for the population to stay warm. There are still hundreds of buildings without heating following yesterday's blackout, which occurred as the power grid, the energy grid, has been really very impacted by a series of strikes against the energy infrastructure, and that's particularly problematic because here we are dealing with a wave of cold, with temperatures which are going well below zero. Right now it's around minus 20 degrees Celsius all over the country, so the situation is very dire for civilians here.
Now, excuse me, Emmanuelle, while all this has been happening, it's also been discovered that Russia has been using Elon Musk's Starlink system without authorization to evade Ukraine's defenses. Musk has said he's resolved the issue. What has the Ukrainian government been saying about all of this?
Well, that was a long-standing issue that Ukraine had raised with Starlink, because Russia is using the Starlink satellite systems in order to guide those drone attacks which are crashing into residential buildings, into hospitals, into buses. And so the defense minister, Mikhailo Fedorov, thanked today Elon Musk for having taken measures to counter this situation. And the Ministry of Defense also shared in a release that measures that had been taken, which are not detailed for security reasons, but measures that have been taken for Russian army not to use unauthorized Starlink systems, have already made a difference on the battlefield and in the air. So this comes as a good news for Ukraine, but Ukraine also, is highly dependent itself on those Starlink systems, which is why the dialogue between the government of Ukraine and Elon Musk is paramount for this government, which relies, just like I was saying, for its army, for these systems.
Emmanuelle, thank you so much for keeping us updated, and I hope that you can stay warm over there in Kharkiv. That's France 24's Emmanuelle Chaze. Moving